Sandy Brondello's decision sent shockwaves across the basketball world, not because she took a new job, but because of the one she turned down. In an offseason filled with rumors, speculation, and soaring expectations, everyone thought the championship-winning coach was headed straight for Dallas to take over Paige Bueckers and her star-studded roster of the Wings. It seemed like destiny. A proven winner paired with one of the brightest young talents in the sport. The headlines were practically written already. But then Brondello flipped the script. She said no, and not just to any offer, but to one that most coaches would have fought tooth and nail to get. Instead, she stunned the entire league by signing with the Toronto Tempo, a brand new expansion team with no history, no stars, and no guarantees. When the news broke, it was like the air got sucked out of the WNBA. Dallas thought they had their answer. The coach who could finally bring balance to a team overflowing with talent and ego. Brondello's resume spoke for itself. Championships, Olympic medals, a track record of turning talented rosters into championship contenders. She was the kind of leader who didn't just win, she built dynasties. Everyone, from analysts to insiders, was convinced she was the perfect fit. But then came the silence. No leaks, no formal rejection. Just a quiet refusal that left Dallas scrambling for answers and the basketball world asking, why would Sandy Brondello walk away from a sure thing? As reports trickled out, the story got even stranger. Dallas had put together an aggressive offer, complete with long-term security and full control over roster decisions, or at least that's what they said publicly. But insiders painted a different picture. Behind closed doors, the Wings were offering a gilded cage, a job loaded with expectations but light on trust. The ownership, known for micromanagement and quick turnarounds, wanted immediate results. Paige Bueckers' arrival had skyrocketed pressure to win now, not next year, not in 3 years, now. For Brondello, a coach who values patience and culture building, that kind of situation was a nightmare waiting to happen. In Dallas, she would have been expected to manage the most hyped rookie in the league, balance veteran personalities, and survive the relentless spotlight that comes with every move Paige makes. One slow start, one losing streak, one moment of friction, and she would have been the scapegoat. For a coach who's already proven everything, that's not opportunity, that's a trap. Brondello had seen it before. Teams that burn through coaches trying to find instant success, never realizing that real winning takes time. She wasn't about to become another casualty of unrealistic expectations. Meanwhile, north of the border, Toronto was quietly building something different. The WNBA's newest franchise, the Toronto Tempo, offered what no other team could: freedom. No legacy to uphold, no media frenzy, no front office tug-of-war, just a blank canvas. Brondello could build her own system, shape her own roster, and take her time doing it. She'd get years, not months, to prove her vision. And for a veteran like her, that was gold. Toronto wasn't promising glamour. It was promising stability and a chance to make history. By choosing Toronto, Brondello wasn't just picking a team. She was choosing to start an era. Toronto's entry into the WNBA wasn't just another expansion. It symbolized the league's growth into a global stage. A Canadian franchise meant new markets, new fans, and a new cultural footprint. For a coach with deep international experience, one who understands how global basketball connects, it was a challenge tailor-made for her. She'd coached Olympic teams, seen how passion transcends borders, and now she'd get to lead the WNBA's international frontier. Geographically and symbolically, it made perfect sense. Toronto is one of the world's most diverse cities, home to a booming basketball scene that exploded after the Raptors' NBA championship. The infrastructure, the passion, the potential, it was all there. And unlike Dallas, Toronto's expectations weren't suffocating. No one demanded a championship in year one. Brondello would have time to craft a culture from scratch, to mold a young roster her way, and to define what the Toronto Tempo would stand for. Of course, walking away from Paige Bueckers wasn't a small decision. Paige is generational, a player who could redefine the future of the league. Every fan assumed that coaching her would be a dream job, but dreams can turn into pressure overnight. With Paige comes attention, scrutiny, and an unforgiving spotlight. Every game would have been dissected, every loss magnified, every coaching choice questioned. For Brondello, who's built her career on structure and balance, that spotlight might have felt more like a burden than a blessing. And there's the locker room dynamic. Dallas isn't just young and talented, it's combustible. Multiple strong personalities, a history of divided chemistry, and an ownership that reportedly struggles with letting go of control. It's the kind of situation that can devour even the best coaches. Brondello knew what she'd be walking into, a team that expected her to fix everything instantly, even if the system around her wasn't ready to change. So instead, she walked away, not out of fear, but out of wisdom. Choosing Toronto wasn't about avoiding pressure. It was about redefining success on her own terms. It was about saying no to chaos and yes to creation. While Dallas fans may feel betrayed, the truth is, Brondello didn't abandon potential. She chose sustainability. She saw the long game, where legacy isn't built by chasing headlines, but by building foundations. In Toronto, she gets to do exactly that. She'll recruit globally, using her international network to bring in talent from Australia, Europe, and beyond. She'll develop a system tailored to her philosophy, disciplined defense, fluid offense, and player development at its core. And as the first head coach of the Toronto Tempo, she won't just be chasing wins. She'll be defining an identity, a culture, a movement. Her decision has already sent a message across the league. Coaches and executives are watching closely, realizing that the era of chasing pre-built teams might be over. For decades, the WNBA has centered around a few dominant franchises: New York, Phoenix, Las Vegas. But Brondello's move signals something new. The power is shifting. The next great stories might not come from legacy teams, but from expansion markets that dare to dream differently. And for the WNBA, that shift is revolutionary. Toronto represents growth, risk, and vision, and Brondello is the face of it. Her gamble could inspire others to seek autonomy over reputation, freedom over fame. Because when a coach of her caliber turns down a team like Dallas, it forces the entire league to look in the mirror. It makes everyone question what real success looks like. Is it the fast track to trophies or the slow grind of building something that lasts? Sandy Brondello chose the latter. She chose to build, not borrow. To lead, not follow. And in doing so, she's written one of the boldest chapters in WNBA history. She didn't chase the spotlight, she created her own. Years from now, when people look back at the rise of the Toronto Tempo, her name will be the one that started it all. So now the question remains, did Sandy Brondello make the right call? Will Toronto reward her gamble with glory, or will history see this as the opportunity she let slip away? Was turning down Paige Bueckers a mistake or a masterstroke of wisdom? Let us know what you think in the comments below. Do you believe Brondello's decision will reshape the WNBA's future? And if you enjoyed this deep dive into one of the boldest moves in women's basketball, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe for more dramatic sports stories, and ring the notification bell, because the next chapter of this league's evolution is just getting started.